What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crack Season 4. Some updates and some packages, some cool stuff. Yay. One package I got today, which I'm pretty impressed. It's better than I thought it was. This character I had when I was a kid. Another one of many toys that I've had that have disappeared or thrown out or what have you. It's very hard to find this character in good shape. Especially with the the things that it came with. But I'm going to show you is Kenner's superpowers Dr.fate with his cape. Now, I've been looking for him for a while too, just like when I showed Darkseid. It's very hard to get him like with the cape, and a lot of times you get him, you can find a good figure without the cape, and he's pricey. But this is interesting. This is what's kind of weird, but you know what? I don't care because I wanted him for my collection anyway, so I'm not really going to bitch. Basically, I got this off eBay, and the guy I bought this off of, the figure's actually in great shape. He's got a little bit of a mark on his helmet, but you can barely see it, and everything else is fine. Everything works. You push his little thing, and arms move. Now, the thing is, the cape is fake. I didn't even know it until I read the whole thing. What this guy does is he makes these capes himself. Like, he actually cuts the fabric, I guess, and makes the wire that went through there and actually makes it. So, for the price that I got him in, the figure itself is in great shape, and the fact that he's got a cape, technically it's not really the original. It's damn close. It really is. Like, it's almost... you wouldn't be able to tell the difference if you really... Like, if you took a brand new one of these out of the package, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference unless I actually... like I said, I read the thing, and the guy said, oh, it's a fake cape. Do you care? He was like, because I don't have the cape for it. I make the capes. But, this is cool. This is cool. It's only cost me $3. So that's, he's in my collection. That's pretty cool. I'm very happy with him. And if I ever find a real cape down the line, maybe I'll put it on. I don't know. But that's just as good. Yeah, got a couple comics. I'm trying to go back and get a few of these. Like I said, it pisses me off when I have to do this because it's just kind of... I don't know. But when money's tight and you can't afford something, then you got to do what you got to do. But they weren't too high priced, thank God. So I went back and got these, and because I actually like the series. I really, every time when it first came out, I kept trying to hate it. I'm like, it's gonna suck, it's gonna blow, I can't stand this. And the more I try to hate it, the more I like it, and it's interesting how they've done it. And most people probably don't want to talk about it. That's Superior Spider-Man. I've started when it first started. I've been getting them, as I was going along, I was getting them, and around I think the 12th or 13th issue is when I stopped because, well, one, we moved, and then two, I just didn't have the money at the time to get them, so it just kept, piling up. So I've been going back bit by bit and getting the ones I've missed. And these I wanted because I just thought the way they did this guy was cool. But Superior Spider-Man number 15 with that new hobgoblin that actually has like wings and a fire sword. Very, very cool. And what was it? I'm losing my mind. Number 16, where apparently it looks like he died. Very cool. Can't wait to read these. Like I said, I really like the series. I want to see what they're going to do now because obviously you're a comic book fan. You know what's happening. The end of this... Well, not the end, but the middle of December is Peter Parker's coming back. Which is interesting because I thought 700 was the last, but now it's 700.1, .2, .3, .4, and .5. Which I ordered off eBay because, of course, Midtown was out of them. Bastards, they kind of screwed me with that, but I'm not going to get into it. But another book that I had gotten is Harley Quinn number 0. I figured, what the hell, not a bad looking cover, and give it a whirl. And Gizmo's going crazy. Gizmo, hey, he likes to go after blinds. Weird. But anyway, yeah, that's the only shipments I got. I do have a lot more coming. Another couple updates I got to give you. Everybody knows by now I'm moving again, which isn't too bad. It's right down the block. Forgot to mention that, which isn't bad. It's a townhouse. Another interesting set of news. My fiance and I we were in a pickle, I guess. We were just kind of like, because we wanted to get our dog, and we wanted to get all these things, and my fiance's got 2 part-time jobs, and I have no job right now. And my fiance's mother, same boat as I am, got no job. It's like almost impossible. But my fiance, like I had mentioned in previous videos, when we tried to get a house, they kept busting our balls and giving us like all these random friggin' figures, like, oh, you're getting 85,000, you're getting 65,000, and then when they figured they can only use one job, they gave her 40 something thousand, 45,000, which you couldn't do much of anything. And they said, oh, well, if you ever get a job in insurance, because what my fiance was doing, she when we were in New York, she worked for Geico. Oh, you'll have a better amount if you have the same kind of job, which at first they said didn't matter, but now it's like, oh, if you have the same job you had, we'll work a better mortgage for you. And if you have a full time job, we'll get you a better mortgage. You'll get more than 45,000. So my fiance's like, well, that's looking, like that's not going to happen because full time jobs are almost impossible to find now, in general, not just here, but in general. Um, and my fiance, she tried for this one insurance place, and they basically said, oh, well, the person before you got it, before we even got to give you an interview. And oddly enough, last week, the same insurance place called back and was looking for my fiance. I was like, well, she's not here. She was at work. And like, oh, we'd really like to speak to her, blah, blah, blah. And they basically didn't really kiss her ass, but I guess they figured either the person they hired sucked, and they figured, what the hell? But my fiance went on an interview. She went on 2 interviews, actually, and then she's like, oh, I'm not going to get this job. But she kept thinking positive. She's like, I'm going to keep thinking positive. Maybe we'll luck out because you really need the cash because we're actually getting... it was bad because the money that this new townhouse is a little more expensive than what we're paying here, but you really are getting more. We're getting a lot more space. We're getting more rooms. We're getting more bathrooms. A lot of other things in there that are actually worth it. So we're just kind of like, all right, we're going to rent it for 6 months. We'll see how it goes. And the problem is the money that you have to put up front and the money that it costs for all these like fees. We have a cat fee. We got to pay $300 something one time fee, and then $10 a month, washer dryer fee, maintenance fee, this fee, that fee, and my fiance's looking at the books, basically her bank account, and she's like, we're really screwed. She goes, because if you don't get a job and if I don't get a better job, we're done. She's like, because this is going to pretty much eat our savings because the money that she makes now would never cover the rent of this place, of the new place we're going in. She's like, she wouldn't really make it. She'd be off by like $100, and then that wouldn't include like food or anything during the week or anything. So she's like, yeah, I have to use all my savings, and if we're there 6 months, that's $7,000. She goes, we're out, and she goes, I only have like $2,000 left, and she goes, I'm not going to be able to. We weren't going to be able to get the dog, because we're trying to help my fiance's mom too, because, she's got no job, she's got no real money, and it's just not coming in. So we've been giving her money here and there. We're like, here you go, here's this, here's that, pay this, and so my fiance is kind of like, this is insane because I'm paying for everybody. And she goes, and I really can't do it. And she goes, so we're not going to be able to get the dog. We're not going to be able to stuff. But, like I said, now, there's always another turn. Today, we're sitting there watching comic book men. My fiance and I, we just watched The Walking Dead. It's Monday the 25th, 3 o'clock, 2013, November. I'm doing this a lot because I forget to type it in sometimes, and like when I do these videos, isn't always the time that I type it in. So I figured it just makes sense. But anyway, we're watching The Walking Dead, which is awesome. We're watching Comic Book Men where this guy found friggin' Amazing Spider-Man 14 for $1. Oh god! But we're watching it, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and my fiance's like, "Oh, I don't know who this person is." And I'll answer it anyway. And it was from the job, and they gave her the job. She got it. So we're very excited. She got her full-time job. She's making quite a small fortune compared to what she's making now. So she's very, very happy because she's like, oh, they want her to start on the 9th, which is funny because we were laughing at figures because that's the day we can move into the new apartment, townhouse. So she's like, I have to go to work. And she goes, and then I have the other job. So she's like, I'm pretty much going to be stuck doing all the moving, which I don't care. That's fine. That's the least I can do. So I'm not pissed about that. I'm just like, oh my god, it's like it's always the way our luck is, and I kept thinking that's what's going to happen is everything always happens at the last possible second, like the last thing where you have to kind of everything's got a bum rush, like all together. You're like, oh god, now I got a new job, I got to move, I got to do it all at once, every single time. So like I said, the good news, she got her full-time job. The bad news, well, it's not really bad news. She had to go to work today, and they need the drug test thing. You know how those things go. And she's got 48 hours to take the drug test and ship it in, or do the paperwork, whatever the hell it is. The problem is, this lady called us at like 2 o'clock or whatever it is, and said she's on vacation, but she had to get, tell her that she got the job, and but she has to get the drug test done or whatever it is, and she was going to send the information. Now, my fiance called me about 10 minutes ago. She's like, she didn't send any information. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do because I don't know where I'm supposed to go for this test. And she's got to have it done by tomorrow. She's like, and if this lady doesn't send me anything by tomorrow morning, she goes, I could be screwed because I got to figure out. So there's where the bad luck kind of comes in. So I'm hoping this lady sends the thing and we can get this out of the way and then hopefully start to get things together. Because if she does get this job, well, she's got the job unless she screws the drug test, but she's not a drug person, so she'll be fine as long as she can take it. Then we'll actually have the money to get the dog, and we'll actually be all right. Now, the other good news is the fact that because she's got a full-time job now, she gets the offer letter and whatever in 6 months, because I told her with, job or no job, whatever it is, we're going to stay in this town for 6 months anyway. She could turn around now and get a mortgage. She called the real estate people when she was leaving, and she said, hey, I got a full-time job, and it's an insurance. In 6 months, I'm going to be looking for a house. So, I want a better quote. So the one guy we talked to claims that he's going to give us like $150,000 to $200,000 thing now, from $45,000 to almost $200,000 because of a full-time job, and she's only making like $3 more than she was with the part-time. I don't know. They're kind of ass backwards down here, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because hopefully we'll have some luck finally, and everything will kind of get together. But my fiance, she's like, of course, at the holidays, I'm going to be working like, all day long, all night long. I'll never be able to sleep. I'm like, well, that's the holidays. And she's like, now I won't be able because her sister, my future sister-in-law, is coming up from New York to visit us for, I think, like 5 or 6 days during Christmas. So she's like, I'm never going to be able to sleep. I'm like, just relax. I was like, she can, we have the townhouse. We should be moved in by then. We're getting a pull-out couch for the movie room. So I said, worst comes to worst, you could stay with us and then you see her at night. No big deal. But, so interesting stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to load this up eventually. But thanks for letting me rant. I like to rant. It makes me feel a little better. And thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. And it's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it. And right now I have a Dr.fate and some comics to read. And hopefully, about 2 weeks, it'll be the 9th. And I'll be moving into the new place. Well, bit by bit anyway. We have until the 31st, but my fiance's kind of like, get it done. She's like, the 9th we're going to go in there and we're going to bomb the hell out of it with all sorts of bug spray because I don't want any of the bugs that we had there, or at least get a better shot at it. And then we're going to go in later that day, clean a little, vacuum. My fiance's a stickler for that. I guess I'll be vacuuming, dust or whatever the hell you have to do. And the next day we're renting a cargo van kind of thing because we found a way to do it cheaply. And I'm going to move all the boxes that are already packed, which are quite a lot, which all the stuff back there. The stuff in my storage area outside is all ready to go, my comics. We're going to move some furniture, whatever we can fit in the van. We're going to move within those first couple of, I'm going to move it in those first couple of days. And then once everything's moved, because I'll have everything done by then anyway, we're going to rent a U-Haul. And we're going to move the furniture, and hopefully we're going to have everything moved in by... She wants to have everything in there and set up by the 20th, because then we got to come back here and clean this place and make sure it looks, in somewhat, good shape. So hopefully we can get our deposit back, which would be nice. See how that goes. But at least then we'll be in the new place, and we've already paid for December anyway, so it's not like we're, my fiance's like, I want out. She's like, I'm done. I want the new place. I want to move in there. I want to get the dog. I want to get all this stuff going. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I'm rambling. And it's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it. And you've seen what I have in it. And you'll see plenty more when I set up the new movie room. And thanks again, everyone. Later.